The relationship felt steady, even comforting in its predictability. There were texts every morning, good night calls that stretched past midnight, and little updates throughout the day. Memes, lunch photos, random thoughts. We weren't just in a relationship, we were in rhythm. He knew how I liked my coffee. I knew how he hated people who talked during movies. He wasn't the flowers and poetry type, but he showed up when it mattered. When I was sick, he brought soup. When I got good news, he was the first to celebrate. Our weekends were usually spent together, sometimes doing something, sometimes doing nothing at all, and it always felt enough. The last time we met, everything seemed normal, almost boringly normal. We had dinner at our usual spot, a small place with cheap biryani and dim lights. He cracked a few jokes, laughed at mine, and scrolled through his phone a bit more than usual. But I didn't think much of it. Maybe work was getting to him. He was quieter than usual, but still affectionate. Still him. We talked about what movie to watch next weekend, about trying that new cafe that opened downtown, about maybe going away for a couple of days. Once his work stress calmed down, he hugged me goodbye, kissed my forehead, and said, "Talk to you tomorrow." That was it. No argument, no tension, no dramatic exit. Just a regular night, just a regular goodbye. If something was wrong, I couldn't see it. And maybe that's what haunts me most, how utterly ordinary that last moment felt, like nothing was ending, like everything was fine. The next morning, she wakes up and does what she always does, grabs her phone and sends him a quick message. Just a simple, "Good morning," like she has 100 times before. No reply, that's fine. Maybe he's sleeping in or rushing through a hectic morning. She brushes it off and goes about her day. A few hours pass. Still nothing. Around lunchtime, she sends another message. "Something casual, how's your day going?" Still no reply. She tells herself not to overthink it. Maybe he left his phone at home. Maybe he's stuck in meetings. Maybe his battery died, and he hasn't noticed. These things happen. By evening, though, a flicker of worry starts to rise. This isn't like him. Even on his worst days, even when he was sick or slammed at work, he always managed a quick reply. Sometimes just an emoji or a one-word answer. Silence wasn't his style. Still, she talks herself down. Maybe he just needs some space. Maybe he's decompressing after a rough day. Maybe she's overreacting. People are allowed to be unavailable sometimes, right? So she tries to stay calm. She rereads their last text, scrolls up through old chats looking for clues. Everything had seemed so normal, so warm. No tension, no hint that anything was off. She doesn't panic yet, not really. But something's starting to shift inside her, a quiet unease she can't quite name. By the second day, she's no longer pretending this is normal. She sends more texts first, with calm curiosity, then with growing urgency. "Hey, everything okay? Can you just let me know you're all right?" Then a call, no answer. Another call, voicemail. She leaves a voice note trying to sound relaxed, but failing. Her voice shakes, still nothing. She checks his social media, no posts, no likes, no activity. It's like he vanished digitally too. She tells herself maybe he's taking a break from everything, but it doesn't add up. Not like this. He's not the type to ghost, not the type to go dark without a word. She messages a couple of mutual friends, trying to keep the panic out of her tone. "Hey, have you heard from him lately?" They haven't. Not in days. One says they figured he was just busy. Another says he's been silent on their end too. On day 3, she swallows her pride and texts his mom. It feels awkward, like crossing some invisible boundary, but what choice does she have? The reply she gets is polite but empty. Something about him being probably caught up with work or needing some space. No real information, no real concern either. The distance in her tone is chilling. It doesn't feel like the response of a mother whose son hasn't been in touch. It feels control, off. Now she's unraveling. Her thoughts start to race, looping through every possibility. Did something happen to him? Is he in trouble? Is he avoiding her? Did she miss a sign? Was there someone else? She replays their last night together, over and over again, analyzing every second for clues. Her worry deepens into full-blown anxiety. Her stomach knots. Sleep is impossible. She swings between fear and fury, terrified something awful happened. Then, angry at him for putting her through this, she tries again and again. Messages, calls, voice notes. Her phone becomes a lifeline and also a torture device. It's now day 4. Still nothing. And the silence is screaming louder than anything he could have said. By the 5th day, she's past the point of pacing and waiting. She can't sit still anymore. The silence feels like it's pressing against her chest, suffocating her. She throws on whatever clothes are nearby, doesn't bother with makeup, doesn't even check the mirror. She just grabs her keys and drives straight to his apartment. The entire way there, she's rehearsing worst-case scenarios. She doesn't want to believe accidents, hospitals, something violent, something final. She reaches his building and rings the bell. Nothing. No sound, no movement. She knocks softly at first, then harder. Still nothing. The hallway feels too quiet. She tries calling him again while standing right there at his door. No vibrations, no ringtone from inside, just dead air. She looks around. His car's not in its usual spot in the lot. The blinds are drawn, lights off. It's like the place is empty, untouched. She tries asking around. One of the neighbors, a middle-aged woman she's seen in passing before, opens her door when she knocks. "Haven't seen him in a few days," she says with a shrug, like it's nothing unusual. Might have gone out of town. It doesn't help. If anything, it makes the silence feel heavier, more deliberate. With her heart pounding and her hands shaking, she drives straight to the nearest police station. It's not dramatic. She doesn't break down crying. She doesn't scream or plead. She just walks up to the front desk and says clearly, "I'd like to file a missing persons report." They're polite. They ask for details. When was he last seen? What was he wearing? Does he have any health conditions? Known mental health issues? Enemies? The questions make her head spin. She answers as best as she can. Voice flat from days of stress. They write it all down, but she can tell they're not treating it like an emergency. There's no flashing lights, no search party, just a nod, a "we'll look into it," and a form to sign. She walks out of the station feeling more alone than ever. It's day 5, and the man she thought she knew who said, "Talk to you tomorrow," has completely vanished. The screen lights up with his name. For a second, she freezes. Her brain doesn't register it as real. She answers with her voice tight, barely holding it together. And he sounds normal, maybe a little tired, maybe emotional, but calm. Like someone who just stepped out of a fog and decided today was a good day to reconnect. "I just needed time." He says, "I wasn't okay. I didn't know how to talk to anyone. I couldn't breathe. I just had to step away from everything." She listens, heart in her throat. Part of her wants to scream. Another part wants to cry with relief. But what gets her is what's missing. No apology. No, "I should have told you." No, "I'm sorry. I made you think I was dead." Just a passive explanation and the expectation that she'll understand. Like she was supposed to wait quietly while he disappeared without warning. Like she doesn't get to be angry because he was hurting. And that's when the anger really kicks in. Not because he struggled, but because he made her go through hell without a single word. Day 6 ends, but nothing feels resolved. Whether it was ghosting, a breakdown, or something out of his control, the emotional fallout hits like a slow, burning wave. No explosion, just a deep, raw ache that refuses to go away. She wants to be kind. She really does. She knows mental health struggles are real, paralyzing, brutal. She wants to believe he didn't mean to hurt her, that he just broke under pressure and didn't know how to ask for help. But even with compassion, there's a sharp edge to her sadness because he left her in the dark. He could have said one sentence, "I need space," and she would have understood. But instead, he made her believe he might be dead or hurt or worse. That wasn't just a mental health crisis, that was a choice not to trust her. A decision to shut her out so completely, she had to beg strangers for answers. So now she's torn. She can't hate him, but she can't forget what he did either. And she doesn't know which wound will take longer to heal, the one from worrying or the one from being completely, deliberately shut out. No matter the truth, she walks away with more questions than closure. Not just about him, but about what kind of love disappears and what kind of strength it takes to survive being left in the dark. She sits alone with the weight of it, 6 days that felt like an eternity. 6 days of not knowing if he was hurt, hiding, or just done. And now, with the truth in her lap, whatever version it turned out to be, She finally lets herself stop chasing answers and starts asking the harder question. What kind of person does this? What kind of man can say, talk to you tomorrow, and then disappear without a word? No warning, no explanation, no concern for what it would do to her, whether it was selfishness, fear, cowardice, or cold calculation. She doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't even know, but she knows what it did to her. It cracked something inside, something trusting, something soft. She thinks about the version of herself from just a week ago, the one who sent good morning without hesitation, who believed silence only happened in movies or nightmares. That version of her is gone now, older in ways no one will see, harder in ways she never asked to be. Could she take him back? Maybe a part of her wanted to, for the comfort, for the closure, for the illusion that it all meant something. But love without safety isn't love. Affection without respect isn't enough. And whatever they had, it shattered the moment he chose silence over honesty. She knows she'll carry this with her, in the way she hesitates before trusting someone new, in the way she watches patterns more closely, in the way she protects her peace, like it's something rare because it is, but she's not broken. Not really, just rebuilt differently. And as she scrolls past his last unread message or photo or memory, she tells herself, maybe out loud this time, 6 days of silence taught me more about him than 2 years of talking ever did.